Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone, who taught me this truth and rule well. And I want to say Shalom to all Akbanakwat out there pursuing this truth diligently. Coming at you once again with another lesson. This one's titled, Forget Everything That Babylon Has Taught You. This one's, inspired by this lesson I was watching earlier by Elder Manata Zatba titled, Response, My Husband Had a Child with Another Woman, Multiple Wives, right? And I was thinking about it as I was watching it, and I said, you know what? And, in that lesson, all right, he mentions, in Babylon, you've been taught these Western ideologies, you can't, a man can't have multiple wives, all right, or a man can't do this, or a man can't do that. And it got me thinking, you need to really just forget everything that Babylon has taught you, all right? What's good food, what's bad food, how to behave as a person, how not to behave as a person, what's okay to do, what's not okay to do, who can get with who, all right, and how to behave as a woman, how to behave as a man, how to, what kind of relationships you can have or should be having, all right, and you just forget everything that Babylon has taught you, okay, everything, all right. Now, there's certain things that, might be useful knowledge that you'll hold on to, but those are just general things. That's not, an ideology or a social structure that's been set up by Babylon. You did all these cultures. All right, you don't even know who you are or what your culture is, Jake. All right, and nor does anybody else really. These Moabites don't really know who they are. These Edomites really are the only ones, who these Edomites and then the Israelites are really the only ones who know who we are. All right, and for the grand scale of things, there's a lot of Edomites that don't know who they are, and there's a lot of Israelites that don't know who they are. But some of us, and I'm saying Israelites and Edomites are aware of that fact, just like you have us that's in this truth that are Israelites that are aware of who we are. We know we're Israelites, right? Just like you have those elite number of, Edomites that they're very aware. The Rothschilds, right? All the Bergs and Steins, they're very aware of who they are and who they come back from. Okay, you got things in books such as Edom is Modern Jewry, or Red Shield for the Rothschild. The information is out there, and they know who exactly they are. Just like we know who we are, but the rest of the nations, for the most part, Ham doesn't really know who the hell they are. All right, Ishmael, kinda in a way. All right, and a lot of people just don't know anything. So their cultures that they have, other than the cultures that we're waking up to now, and coming back into us as Israelites. All right, learning through the Bible what our natural cultures are and customs are. And then Edomites, they've never really lost their natural way, because their natural way was always being a liar, a thief, a killer, all right, a robber, a profane person, okay? So for the most part, they haven't changed. They've always kept their way, but we fell off a little bit. We didn't know our way, or it was hidden from us, and we now in Babylon are waking up and learning how we actually are. So everything you've learned from the world, from Esau, all right, you've got to forget all that, all right? You got to forget everything that Babylon has taught you. All right, how to behave, how to act, what to do, all right, where to go, what's right. Well, you can't say that, you can say that, you can't say that, you can do this, you can't do that. All those things you got to forget, man. All right, or you're going to be way, way, way messed up in the mind. And I'm not speaking about the sister that was being spoken of in this lesson. I'm speaking about everybody on a whole. And while watching this lesson, I was just kind of, pondering upon that thought. You got to forget everything, all right? Because that's one of the things with these women. They think that, you can't have multiple wives. Now, it's not an expedient thing to do, and it's not taught that you should have multiple wives, but it's something that men are able to do, and it's not wicked, okay? But all things are lawful to me, but not all things are expedient, right? There's that. So you're taught that. That's one example, all right? You're taught that it's okay to eat pork, You're taught that it's okay for, two people of the same gender to be together. You're taught that it's okay to wear the opposite gender's clothes. You're taught that it's okay to, do this. It's okay to do that. It's okay to do that. And that's men, women, children, everyone. They've been programmed by Babylon, and you must forget everything that Babylon has taught you, or it's going to hold you back. It's going to be a stumbling block when you start hearing the truth. Well, that's hate. that's hate. Well, where do you getting this from? You're learning. Everything that you've known is what Babylon has taught you. Everything you've known is what politics have told you to think. You don't think for yourself. You don't know who you are. You don't even know who you are. A lot of people don't know who they are, and I'm not talking about as who they are as, their culture is going back to Israelites or going back to Edomites or going back to Moabites. I'm talking about just as a whole. You people don't know who you are because you've been taught who to be. Okay, you don't even know the things that you like. Okay, you don't know. All you know is that you got to get up, you got to go to work, you got to do this, you got to do that, and you got to be good on time. You got to do this, and that's what Babylon has taught you, to be a little workhorse. You don't know who you are. What type of things do you like? What type of things do you enjoy? Do you know who you are? Who are you as a spirit? And once you find out you're an Israelite, you'll find in everything. Hey man, everything's like a puzzle, and it just has to fit in the piece. But these people don't even have their own, minds really. That's why there's so many people that are so similar. All right, because they've been taught how to be, taught how to behave. And and when you're in school and you do something that's not necessarily how it's done, you get in trouble. They say, oh, you're doing that wrong. Don't do it that way. They want you to behave exactly how they want you to be. They want you to act exactly how they want you to act. All right? They want you to smell how they smell. They want you to dress how they dress. All right? And it's really just mind control. Okay? And that's the state of Babylon. They want to build you into a workhorse and keep you in that slavery mindset. Okay? So you got to forget all those things. Everything that you learned. Now, everything that you've learned has been from Esau. So when you come into this truth and you're waking up, you can't bring those things with you. You can't bring, oh, you can eat pork. No, you can't. Well, you can't have multiple wives as a man. Yes, you can. Well, you can get with multiple men as a woman. No, you can't. Well, you can, God is God, and you can worship whoever in whatever name. No, you can't. All right, you can get whoever with whoever. Love is love. No, it's not. You cannot do that. You got to forget everything Babylon has taught you. And and then you have to forget the things that you didn't forget about, that you thought you forgot about. Think of it, well, that's rude, that's hate. Well, what do you know about hate? The Bible has a different perspective of hate than you do. Well, that's racist. Well, the Bible is racist. Is it not? Is it not? Is it not wrote for one specific people? Wouldn't that be considered racist? What do you say? The Bible's racist? I'm saying by your technical definition, the Bible is everything that you hate. Okay? It's written for one people. It condemns all the other people. Okay? It's not about getting together and having a great time. All right? It's not about that. It's not about unity. It's actually more about division. Why are you saying God doesn't divide? Okay, well, if God doesn't divide, okay, then why did he make different nations to divide the people? All right? Why weren't everybody just called people? Why wasn't it just everyone as a whole? No. It was the heathens and the Israelites. All right, it was the Israelites. It was and even among the Israelites there was Gadites, Issacharites. All right, and Judites and Benjamites. All right, there's even separation between that. Now they're all Israel, and all the heathens, even the Moabites, the Hamites, the Ishmaelites, the Amalekites. All right, there's separation for a reason. All right, everyone behaves a little bit differently, and the grand scale is there's different tiers of separation. There's separation amongst the tribes. It's not necessarily bad separation, and then on top of that, but it works into a bigger whole. All right, there's a difference between the Judites and the Benjamites. There's a difference between the Benjamites and the Gadites, but on the grand whole, they make up a portion of people that are called the Israelites. All right, and the Israelites as a whole are separate from the people that are called heathens, and the heathens individualized are Ammonites and Ishmaelites and so on and so forth. So everything you've been taught is trash. Everything you've been taught is garbage. Love is love. Everybody's that's in the past. No, you forget everything. All right, forget everything Babylon has taught you, so you can free up space for what the Bible and Yahweh Shem Yahushai can teach you. Okay, that's what you need to do. So this is Romans 12:1. All right, and we're gonna get Romans 12:1 through 2. And I think we're going to get this in the New Living Translation as well. So this is the King James Version, Romans 12:1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of Yahweh, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy. There's another word. We got to come together. What does holy mean?
Holy.
Okay. Dedicated or consecrated to Yahweh or a religious purpose, sacred. All right. And if you get back into this word, really, if you go to holy, and then, let's just go to the Blue Letter Bible and go here, and then just look up the word holy. Let's do that. Holy, not homely. Holy. All right. A holy nation. Let's get a holy nation. A kingdom of priests, and then holy goes back to the word Quadash.
Strong's H 6918. Kadosh. Kadosh.
And the correct pronunciation of that
Second
is
entry.
Quadash.
Kadosh.
We don't need the second entry. The correct pronunciation is Quadash. Okay. So sacred, holy, holy one, saint, set apart. What does it mean to set apart?
Set apart.
All right. Separate something and keep it for a special purpose. Isolate, separate, segregate. Make someone seem distinctive or superior. There you go. Separate, separate. It means to separate. If you separate, what is that? Divide should come up. To separate. Let's see. To divide.
Separate.
To divide. Division. We all need to come together. No, what is holy then? Huh? Bet you didn't know that. Holy, acceptable unto Yahweh, which is your reasonable service. That is your reasonable service to the Most High. You are expected of that, and it's reasonable. Verse 2, and be not conformed to this world. Be not conformed to this world. Let's get what conformed means. What is conformity? Conform.
Conform.
Comply with rules, standards, or law. It's okay for a man and a man to get together. It's okay for you to eat pork. It's okay for this and that to happen. It's okay for this. It's okay for a man to get with another man. It's okay for a woman to leave her husband and take half his money. It's okay for a woman to get with multiple men. It's okay for this to happen. It's okay to, to be covetousness and to lie and to steal. It's okay for No. Don't conform to these Babylonian mindsets. Don't conform to them. Erase that shit from your mind, man. And be not conformed, Romans 12:2, and be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. If you renew, you make something new again. You refresh it, right? By the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of Yahweh. There you go. So let's go get Romans 12:1 through 12:2 in the NLT. So let's go hop over to the NLT. Let's see if this is going to block me again. So let's get Romans 12:1, and we'll get verse 2 as well. So this is the New Living Translation. It says, so Romans 12:1 in the NLT. And so, dear brothers and sisters, I plead with you to give your bodies to Yahweh because of all he has done for you. Let them be a living and holy sacrifice, the kind he will find acceptable. This is truly the way to worship him. Bear with me just one moment. There we go. This is truly the way to worship him. Verse 2. Don't copy the behavior and customs of this world. Don't copy the behavior and customs of this world, but let Yahweh transform you into a new person by changing the way you think. Then you will learn to know Yahweh's will for you, which is good and pleasing and perfect. Boom! Explosions going off. That was heavy, right? Don't be conformed to this world, right? Don't copy the behavior and the customs of this world, all right? Let the Most High transform you, all right? Remove that shit from your brain. Get it out. It has nothing, there's nothing good you can have from it. There's nothing, all right? Forget it, all right? Remove it from the brain, but understand, don't forget it to the point where you can't think about it, Not to that point, think about it in a sense of, you have to lock it into a box and forget it, but you have to place it in front of you to see, look, this is wrong, all right, and this is what's destroying these other people. Okay, not forget it and don't let it ever, I don't think about that. You have to think about it in a sense that that's this poison. It's really what this is. It's poison, all right, this poison that's been poured out, this wine, this Babylonian wine, right? This poison that's been poured into the brains of the people of the world, man, and not just America, because all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath for fornication, as it says in Revelation, right? So, Babylon is America, but Babylonianism is a concept that spreads much farther than just so-called America. All right, Babylon itself. There's British Babylonians. There's Asian Babylonians. There's Middle Eastern Babylonians. It's the Babylonian mindset, right? It's that beast, that system, that system that you've been locked into and now have grown to love and to accept And when anybody comes against it, you say, no, you're the wrong one. You can't say that. Love is love. You can't say that. There's nothing wrong with pork. I ate it last week and nobody died, right? That's that poison, man. That's that poison, okay? And you've got to remove that poison from out your brain, or it's going to fuck you up. It's going to hold you back. It's going to be a stumbling block to you. And ultimately, you're not going to be able to obtain any form of knowledge because you're not going to allow the Most High in. Okay, when he reaches out your hand, you're going to slap it away, because what does that hand have all over it? You know, the laws and the statutes and the commandments of this Bible, and not of this world. You don't want that. You want what this world... No, this world's right. I've been taught my whole life this is right. I can do this. This is what I should do. This is how I should be. This is how I should act. This is how I should think. So when some other, you know, someone outside of the box says, hey, no, that's a lie. You've been set up. You need to think like this. You say, no, I don't want it. You know? And that's, you got to forget everything that Babylon has taught you, man, or it's going to be a stumbling block. It's going to hold you back. You can't do it. You can't do it, man. You can't. It's going to fuck you up. It's bad for your health. 1 John 4:4-5 says, ye are of Yahweh, little children, and have overcome them. Let me grab a drink real quick. I feel my voice getting dry. Ye are of Yahweh, little children, and have overcome them, because greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. They are of the world, therefore speak they of the world, and the world heareth them. There's another thing that just came to mind, the abortion situation. All right, they say that that's okay to do. They say it's okay to worship whatever God you want. They make what do they call them? Co-ed temples now that you can worship any God in. All right, you can bring whatever God, bring your own God, BYOG, right? That's what they're basically doing, and you can just, go in there and it's fucking ridiculous, man. And these people, they're of the world, so they're gonna speak things according to the world. A woman's body is a woman's body. She can kill that baby if she. Well, they don't say kill. No, she can, expunge of that life form that's within her if she wants to do it. Or men can be with other men if that's what they want to do. Or if that, they won't say it like this, but if that man wants to be a woman, he can go ahead and be a woman. Or if that woman wants to cut off her titties and be a man now, that is of the world. So they're gonna speak according to the world. And if you say that's wrong, you're, oh, you fucking bigot. Oh, you know what a phobe. Oh, you this, you that. It's what the fuck. We're literally, and once you've come out of the society and you've come out of Babylon, and you think about it, you're like, these people are really advocating for the worst shit. They're literally, these people are stabbing themselves in the fucking throat with a knife. They're shooting themselves in the face with a gun. They're just guzzling down poison, and they're saying, this is good for us. This is good for us. You have been completely fucked and destroyed, all right? You really don't understand how bad your situation is. If you could just, for but a moment, step away and have an out of Babylon moment. You know how they say an out of body moment? No, an out of Babylon moment where you for a brief period of time, you get pulled out of your body and you're viewing yourself and you see everything in the real light and you see what the fuck is going on. You would really understand, man. And that's what happens when you come in this truth. You have almost an out of body experience. Not really, to that T. It's not really an out of body experience, but you basically, step out of yourself into this, cerebral form, okay, in your brain, and you think, wow, who the fuck, and when it's happening, you're like, who the hell am I? I can't believe all this shit. And when you first wake up to the truth, and you brothers know, and you sisters that have woken up to the truth, you start looking at everything throughout your life. And you're like, holy shit, everything makes so much sense. It's like every puzzle aligned at the exact point in time. You start looking back and you say, holy shit, why were things going bad for me? Oh, I wasn't in this truth. I didn't know who I was. And oh my gosh, I did that. I didn't know. And you're like, holy shit, man. And then you realize you have a lot of repenting to do because of all this Babylonianism that you were affected by. We were all affected by Babylonianism before we woke up, all right? We were all Babylonians at one point in time. We were Israelites, but we didn't know we were Israelites. We weren't behaving as such. We were behaving as the Babylonians. Okay, as we have been taught by the Edomites. They taught, this is how you are, this is who you are, this is what you're gonna do, this is how you're gonna like. And and some of us might have been on the little rebel of a side, but we're still, even the rebel, there's the straightforward Babylonianism, and then there's the Babylonianism that they set up that they don't think, they're like, oh, this is, the rebels think, oh yeah, we're rebels, we're gonna do this. You don't realize that the rebel side and the good side has both been set up by the Babylonians. They're playing both sides, all right? Here you are, they want you to be a blue-collar or a white-collar worker, and you're, well, really, they don't want you to be white-collar, that's them. They want you to be blue-collar and walk around and do your job Everything's just good, Jim. God bless America. Isn't everything great? Look at my wife. Isn't everything wonderful? Sure, the last one took me for $50,000, but whatever, you know. And then they have that side that they've set up, and they've also set up the side of like the street life, man, the gangs, the robbing, all right, the murder, all right, the stealing, all right, the thief. And you think, yeah, man, I'm not with this government. I'm completely against this government. They don't know me, and they've set that up for you too, man. They got you in the right spot. So here you are. You think you're separate, but guess what? The CIA and the FBI, there's the ones that's pumping and funneling all these drugs in the ghetto. So your dumbass can go and sell it to the next Jake down the block. All right, and the whoremongering and teaching you to be a pimp and teaching the woman to be hoes and all that stuff. It's all set up. You think you got out of the mindset. You think that you've separated yourself, but you don't realize you're just. It's a different fucking flavor of Babylonianism. It's the same food, just a different flavor. You have you didn't want the red sauce, so you threw on the chile verde, man. That's all you did. All right, it's the same shit at the end of the day. Okay, and verse 4, 1 John 4:4, once again, ye are of Yahweh, little children, and have overcome them, because greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. They are of the world. It's like you. Let me start over in verse 5. They are of the world, therefore speak they of the world, and the world heareth them. This about the world, that about the world. Yeah, you're right, this about the world. Oh yeah, did you hear about this about the world and that about the world? I love this thing about the world. The world. Oh, the world. Everything in it. I love the world. The money, the covetousness, the lying, the stealing, the murder, the rape, the robbery. Everything. They love it all. Okay? They're of the world, so they're going to speak of the world. So when you say you can't do that, why? Why can't I do it? And they'll find a way to justify their actions. And that's Christians too. Christians don't even understand a goddamn thing. These Christians are some of the most dumb fucking idiots that you could ever have the dissatisfaction or the, what's the word I'm looking for? The misfortune, all right, the misfortune of having a conversation with. If you ever have a conversation, they'll just spit whatever shit out. You know, God loves everybody, and you know, God did this, and you know, and oh, God, well, this was all this. You know, they were, you know, God, you know, they were the people of the Bible weren't black; they were Middle Eastern. They were Middle Eastern, and you know, Middle Easterns, if you get down to it, are white people and brown people to black people. They're all colors. No, they're not. No, they are not. No, Middle Easterns, if you look at a Middle Eastern, first of all, they're brown. They're fucking brown. A Middle Eastern, I'm talking about a Pakistani. I'm talking about an Arab. I'm talking about a Iranian, an Afghani. Look at them. Are they white? No, they are not. Look, let's go. Let's Iranian people. Well, these are the people that they're associating with Iranians. All right. But you can still see they don't look like a standard white, all right? They still don't look the same. Of course, you're going to have people in Africa, you know, there you go, the Afro-Iranians. Look at that, you even got them over there. So when people are like, oh, well, look at the white people, they're over there, they're white. Yeah, well, white people kind of took over everywhere. If you look at the original Iranians, the original Pakistanis, the original, all right? Look how dark they are. And this guy don't fit in. One of these things is not like the other. Very interesting. You know, if you look at the original Iranians, all right, the original Pakistanis, the original Afghanis, if you look up Afghan people, and they show you they show you all the white people, all right, when you look them up. But if you look, they're actually darker, man. All right, but whenever you look, you can damn near look up a Dominican these days, and you'd find a white person. But you know. At least they're showing Dominicans as Dominicans. I'm surprised there's not a white person. Because they try to replace everyone as white. Okay? They try to replace everyone as white. Okay? If you go and look up, Pakistan people. Look. Well, they'll show some of them dark, but they gotta show a lot of them the lightest ones that they can. And these people, look, you gotta look. Now, these people are very dark people, but every time you look up on the internet, you know, what people look like in different countries, they always show the white versions. If I look up African, here's a South African. You haven't took over everything. But that's what the mindset they want you to be. All right, they've replaced everyone. All right, if you look at the original people, everywhere, man, there's so much brain control and mind washing that you know, Micah 2:10. We're just gonna get it. Micah 2:10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It's like poison, right? It shall destroy you even with a sore destruction. All these concepts and these ideologies and all these the mindsets of these people, it will destroy you, man. It will destroy you. And a lot of you, Jake, it's already too late. It's already too late for a lot of you people, man. Slakia, the heartburn all of a sudden coming on. 1 John 2:16 through 17. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world. And the world passeth away and the lust thereof, but he that doeth the will of Yahweh abideth forever. So there you go, man. All these things, you know, these and like we were saying, these Christians, they don't get it. And that's a real conversation I had, all right, about people. You know, because it's, you know, it's these people don't know. They so desperately want white people to be included, man. And you Jakes have got to that point where you want these white people, these so-called white people, right? These Edomites to be included. You want to include your enemy with everything good. You want to give the enemy part of your reward, man. You fucking, you Uncle Tom ass Jakes, man. You got to be expunged too. You gotta be destroyed too, man. The Lord's gonna come back and it's gonna be fucking awful for you because your whole head is sick. You can't be fixed. A lot of you Jakes just can't be fixed, but by burning, man. That's the only way a lot of you can be fixed. Titus 2:11 through 15. For by the grace of Yahweh that bringeth salvation hath appeared to all men, teaching us that denying ungodliness and worldly lusts, we should live soberly, righteously, and godly in this present world, looking for that blessed hope and the glorious appearing of the great Yahweh and our Savior Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, who gave himself for us that he might redeem us from all iniquity, which is wickedness and sin, and purify unto himself a peculiar people. Peculiar? What's peculiar? We're a peculiar people. What does peculiar mean?
Peculiar.
It's not strange or odd, but it's particular, special, distinctive. Distinct, different, right? We're set aside, and purify unto himself a peculiar people, zealous of good works. These things speak, and exhort, and rebuke with all authority. Let no man despise thee. There you go. Like in verse 12, teaching us that denying ungodliness and worldly lust, we should live soberly, righteously, and godly in this present world. Because we're here, that doesn't mean soak up everything. Like, we're not a fucking sponge and soak up all the wickedness that they're teaching. All right, at one point we did. Now we got to wring that rag out and get rid of it. All right, and we got to get a whole new, different material, man. Okay? You put off the old man and put on the new. All right, you got to forget everything that Babylon has taught you. Everything. Okay? Ephesians 5:8 through 11. It reads, For ye were sometimes darkness, but now are ye light in the Lord. Walk as children of light. Don't walk as some dumbass. Walk as children of now. For ye were sometimes darkness before, right? We were living in darkness. But now are ye light in the Lord. Walk as children of light. You know, if you're a duck, you should walk as a duck. If you're a dog, you should walk as a dog, right? But who you are is how you should behave yourself. All right. And when you see a duck acting like a chicken, you're like, what the fuck is that? That's all messed up. That ain't the way it's supposed to be. Okay, so as we were in darkness, now we're in light. We should walk as we're in light. Okay, not doing all these wickedness, this wicked shit. Not doing everything that Babylon is taught, right? It says, verse 9, For the fruit of the Spirit is in all goodness and righteousness and truth, proving what is acceptable unto the Lord. It's not about what's acceptable to the world. It's not acceptable. It's not about what's acceptable to Frank. It's not about what's acceptable to Brittany. It's about what's acceptable to the Lord. All right. At the end of the day, he's the one. He's the judge. He understands. He can do this. He can do that. It doesn't matter what Brittany, Bill, or George had to say. All right. It's about what the Lord has to say. What's acceptable to Him. You know, Bill says you can eat pork. Well, guess what? The Lord says you can't. So who are you going to go off of? All right, who are you gonna believe in and put trust in, Bill or the Lord? All right, if you say Bill, then you're fucked. All right, you got that Babylonian mindset, and you obviously haven't forgotten anything that Babylon's taught you. Matter of fact, you're leaning into it heavily. All right, and you're the type of people that are just a bunch of fucking sheeps for the slaughter, man, and not sheep biblically, like, you know, sheeps for Yahweh Shai. No, you're worldly cattle, you know, sheeps to the slaughter, the moth to the flame, man. That's exactly what you are. All right, you're lining up for the fucking slaughterhouse and you don't even know it. All All right, and you're done. You're just done. You're through, man. You're through. You know, and you're doing all these things that are destroying you, and you're enjoying them. Okay, you're enjoying them. You know, so proving what is acceptable unto the Lord, and have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather reprove them. Reprove them. What does reprove? Reprove means to correct. Okay.
Reprove.
All right. To reprimand or censor someone. All right. To scold. All right. Really, it goes back to chide, to chastise, but it's for correction. All right. It's for correction. Okay. You don't just do it to do it. You do it so someone can be corrected. So, you know, and we're gonna get ready to close out here in just a moment. But, you know, you Jake, man, you know, I don't even know what to, there's just so much to say that I don't even know what to say, man. You know, it's, you Jakes have just, you've willingly partaken in you're just poisoning, man. And when people try to, you know, take the bottle away from you, you're like, no, give me my poison back. I like this poison, it tastes good. All right, and it's gonna lead to your destruction. Really, you know, like a bunch of sheep to the slaughter, to the moth to the flame. You know, you don't even really, you're willingly jumping in the slaughter line. Okay, and when someone says, hey man, that's gonna, look at that, don't you see the big, you know, everybody that goes to that line never comes back, look at all the blood up ahead, don't you see it? You're like, no, I don't see anything. I think you're just a conspiracy theorist. And they hop back in line. All right, and then when they get there and they see the people in front of them, bop, 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 getting taken out, they're, oh shit, and then guess what, you can't get out of line now. All right, there's too many people behind you. You can't jump over the railing or nothing. It's too late. Oh shit, I should have believed him. No, too late. Too late. You had the chance. You had the chance, but you didn't want to remove Babylon from your mind. You wanted to keep in those Babylonianism, man. You wanted to keep in that mindset. And guess what? Now you're fucking destroyed. Now you're through. Now you're dead because you liked what the world gave you and you didn't want what the Lord gave you. You didn't want to change your ways. Now you're dead. You're done. That's it. Hope it was worth it. Revelation 18:4. And I heard, and you people right now are still those same sheep. No, it's not. No, we're fine. Look, I'm not dead yet. I'm not dead yet. Yeah, just wait. Just wait, all right? It's not gonna hit. It might not hit today. It might not hit next week. It might not hit next month or next year. Who knows how many years we have left? Not too many. Not too many. Hopefully we get out of here soon. But it's gonna hit, and when it hits, oh no, shit! Wait, I want to get out of line. No, you're already in line. Sorry, you can't. And there's no space over here for you. All right, all the space has been taken outside of the line. You got to stay in that line and be slaughtered. Well, I don't want to. Well, it's not about what you want. You had a chance. You had a chance, and you didn't want to wake up, Jake. You wanted to stay asleep, okay? Revelation 18:4, and I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and Yahweh hath remembered her iniquities. It says, reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works, and in the cup which she had filled to her double. Let's go back. Well, now we don't really have to go back, but actually we really got to read you know, and we can read Revelation 18:3. We missed that, but that's talking about that Babylonianism, that Babylonian wine, that drink that everyone's drunk. For all nations, Revelation 18:3, for all nations have drunk the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich to the abundance of her delicacies. All right, so, you know, all these people that are getting rich off of wickedness and sin, and, you know, people, you know, with apps like Grindr and apps like Tinder and apps like this and apps like that, and, you know, and marijuana dispensaries and all these different things that are wicked. All right, they have waxed rich through those things. All right, and all this indoctrination in the school system, the prisons, all these things, man, all these things, they've waxed rich through that. Okay, they've all these nations, all nations and all kings of the earth, they have all drank of the wine. All right, the so-called Chinese, the so-called Japanese, right, the so-called North Koreans, the so-called South Koreans, the so-called Russians, right, the so-called Europeans, all of them, they've all drank of that wine. They all come over here and start businesses. They all come over here and get with the you know, the Bill Gates and the Elon Musks and the Bezoses, right, and they want to become just like them. They wax rich to the abundance of her delicacies, Babylon. Right? And they drink that wine. Okay? And like it says in Revelation 18:4, and I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that you be not partakers of her sins, and that you receive not of her plagues. That's the Lord saying, hey, remove yourself from out of the mindset of this. It's not saying leave. It's not saying get on a plane and go to Africa. It's not saying get on a plane and go to Israel. It's not saying get on a plane and go to somewhere in China. It's saying come out of her, mindset wise. Come out of her. Don't be partakers of her sin. Distance yourself. All right, you're going to be dwelling in this land, but you're not going to be behaving like the people of that land. Distance yourself. Come out of her. Get out of that mindset. All right, and in verse 5 it says, for her sins have reached unto heaven, and Yahweh hath remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works in the cup which she hath filled to her double. So let's get that same, let's get the very same scriptures, and the New Living Translation. Okay, and then we'll close out. It says, and we're actually going to read up from 3. Revelation 18:3. For all nations have fallen because of the wine of her passion or immorality. It's immoral. What does immoral mean? If you look that up, that's your homework. The kings of the world have committed adultery with her because of her desires for extravagant luxury. The merchants of the world have grown rich. Then I heard another voice calling from heaven, come away from her, my people. Do not partake in her sins, or you will be punished with her. You want to eat pork, you want to commit adultery, you want to get abortions, you want to be a man with man or a woman with woman, you want to do these things, guess what? You're going to be, those are all concepts of Babylon, and you're going to be punished as Babylon, and Babylon's going to be destroyed. So what's going to happen to you? If you're going to be punished with Babylon and Babylon's going to be destroyed, how are you going to be punished? If you're being punished with her, what's going to happen to you? You're going to be destroyed. Okay? You're going to be destroyed. It says, why? For her sins are piled as high as heaven, and Yahweh remembers her evil deeds. Do to her as she has done to others. Double her penalty for all her evil deeds. She brewed a cup of terror for others, so brew twice as much for her. Do you want to be in that, Jake? Do you want to be in that? Think about it. Do you want to be in that? A lot of you do, and a lot of you aren't going to fucking change your ways, and you're going to continue with your destruction, and then you're going to be screaming and hooting and hollering, trying to call on the name of the Lord, even though you don't know the name of the Lord, and there's no prophets around because the famine of the word's gone out, and you don't know nothing, and you're not going to know nothing, and you'll be fucking destroyed, Jake, because you have all this Babylonianism in your mind, and that's just how you want to be, because it feels good. All right, it's not going to feel good when you're on fucking fire. All right, you got to forget everything that Babylon has taught you, and if not, hey, line up for slaughter, because that's where you're headed. With that, we're going to go ahead and close out. Lord willing, this lesson has been edifying. Once again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone that taught me this truth and rule well. I want to say shalom to you brothers and sisters out there. Keep enduring, keep the faith. We're almost out of here. Until the next one, Lord willing, shalom.